Sat Sri Akal, Zindovre to all our viewers of IP News. Today we have with us a very esteemed guest, Mr. JJ Singh. A very warm welcome, sir, in IP News. It's our honor and privilege to have you here today.
Thank you very much, Gitanjali. It's been an honor to be here with you all.
Mr. Singh is carrying many feathers in his cap. So let me introduce him to my viewers. He is president of Indo-Polish Chamber of Commerce and Industries. He is CEO of Vepco Tours and Travels, and he is also a founding member of Gurudwara Prabandhak Sahib. Mr. Singh is working continuously and tirelessly to bring further our Indian value and cultures. So let's start our interview with the journey Mr. Singh began with. Mr. Singh, where do you belong? How you landed in Poland? And what is that thing that kept you bonded in Poland for so many years?
I come from a very humble family from New Delhi, India, from a Sikh family. And I am coming from the family of the people, you can say service people in the service industry. So my journey started actually, I can only thank to Lord Polish Airlines because that was the organization I was serving for way back in 80s. And that's where I met my wife. She was stationed in India. And then we got married. Of course, I never had thought of it that I'll be moving out of India because having the good job in India and with the future perspectives in the airline industries being good. But then came time when she decided she would like to move back to Poland. So decision was mine. So I took it and I followed her. And that's how my adventure started. And it's still going on. And fruit of that relationship is my two daughters, who are now both married, settled off. And, when I came to Poland, of course, the things were different here. It was way back in 89. The things were changing. So I think I came at the time when the things were, on the height of it in the changes and a lot of opportunities were there. But of course, as being an immigrant at that time was not that easy because those were different times. You had to maneuver and find your own way with a little help from the other fellow Indians. Of course, my wife and her family did their best. And then I met some other friends, also Polish people, who helped me in various things. And then I started working in a travel agency in Poland. And then later, 92, along with my Danish partners, I opened Vepco Travel. So that was the initial, start in this country. And of course, once you have your family, once you have your business, and I think that's a bond which kept me. And like I said in the very beginning, I was never in a mode of in immigration. So, now Poland is home. So now immigrating from here somewhere else, I think that's a difficult question. Question can be, would I like to go back to India? Well, the time will say. Right now it's like, at least in a good year when there was no pandemic, I was traveling at least 5 times a year to India with all the delegations from Indo-Polish Chamber of Commerce side. So the bond is always there. So I've not lost it.
I'm asking about the bond in Poland only.
Well, I think it's a bond both sides, So,
both sides, yeah.
Well, you are new here, but I can say the people like us, it's a syndrome I would call lost in translation, because it's something like lost in transit, I would rather say, not translation, because you belong to both the countries, but you're also at the same time stranger in both the countries.
I'm new here, but I find the people here very warm and welcoming for us.
Yes, that's for sure. I mean, this is also, it's not only the question of the people in Poland, they are of course warm, but I think it is also very important the collective work which has been done by the Indian community here in Poland, because we all of us are doing our best to be ambassadors of India. All of us are doing our best to make sure to reach out to the Polish community and and this is in us. So I think that also has brought with the various initiatives from the Indian community. The Indians are, regarded, I would say, positively in Poland, although sometimes we hear some uncertain events, no, I would say rather not fortunate events, but then that's a part of the life.
So, how do you think Poland has evolved as a country in general and as a community in particular towards Indian residing here? Do you find them more welcoming now compared to earlier times? Earlier times?
Well, I would say like this: Poland was always a welcoming nation. Being themselves closed for so many years to the world and being themselves immigrants also, so they understand. Uh, Time and here we have the situations when I think it's politically fueled thing when the people become in any country against the immigrants and all related to it. But in general, I can say, uh, being here for more than 30 years, I don't see any negative changes in the Polish people. There are the incidents which have been there in the past also, which I also faced myself personally, also being here for so long, and which are still here, and I think which will be there. That's a part of the, I would say, our community wherever we stay, whether it's Poland, it's France, it's US. I think what we should do, we should always do our best to avoid that kind of a situations and to represent India and Indians as in a positive manner.
As everyone living here know very well the struggle you have did to establish Gurudwara Prabandhak Committee. I want to know about the struggle and its success. Success.
There's always a time in one's life when you want to get back to the religion or to attach more to it. And that time also came in my life, and I don't take the credit for establishing Gurdwara on my own. I think I've been blessed throughout my stay here in Poland that I've been supported by the people, whether it's Indian or Polish. And I think it's a collective work that we have Gurdwara where it is today, right now. So it's a struggle of 4 or 5 people in the beginning. Then it was a struggle of the whole community to keep it afloat. So it's there, it's functioning. Of course, it was not easy in the very beginning to register as a religious, I would say, foundation, because we should remember one thing: any foreign country, when a foreigner is trying to establish a religious foundation or something like that, they're always spectacle. But I mean, we waited for a couple of years, I can say that, but we finally got that license of operating officially as a Gurdwara. So I'm proud that with the collective work of all the people in my
So
team,
how long? So how many years it took?
it took almost 4 years. It took almost 4 years. So for those 4 years, we were processing, we were doing the things, what were requirements were there, and we were operating as a Gurdwara, I would say, more as a society center, you can say. Like most of the Gurdwaras in Europe are operating besides UK. But then I think we are the first Gurdwara in Central Europe, which is registered as a religious Gurdwara, as a Sikh temple, you can say, and as a foundation.
That's great. Okay. You are also president of Indo-Polish Chamber of Commerce and Industries. So how it is helping in bridging the gap between these two countries and how it is helpful for India and Poland?
Well, India and Poland have been cooperating way back, even in the times and the 50s, 60s, when Poland was a communist country. There was a long cooperation between the two countries. But of course, the restart of the cooperation was in 2004. And after that, I think with the collective work of various organizations, I think we stand where we are right now today, where we have the trade between the two countries almost around 3.2 billion US dollars. We can see a lot of investments from the Indian side in Poland, and there are a few major investments also from the Polish side in India. The question is how we can take it to the next level. We are working hard on it with the Embassy of India and with the ministry, especially the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the Ministry of Economy of Poland. to make sure that the momentum is there. Uh, there has been a little, I would say a brief stop in the visits, not because of the pandemic only, but earlier also. Like I gave you the example, we were taking 5 to 6 delegations in a year, but in 2019 and 18, it was around 2 or 3 only. So we can see the decrease is there, but I don't see it as a problem because the most important is what we get out from those even 2 or 3 visits also. And we can see that there is a lot of interest from the Polish side. They are watching India very closely. Only thing is sometimes they get baffled by a certain problems. You can say simply bureaucracy, which is on the both sides. But I think again, I would say that it's not only the Indo-Polish Chamber of Commerce, but even the people like you or the many other Indians who are staying here in Poland, they can also initiate any business venture which can grow into something big. So I think it should be on our back of our mind always that we should do everything to make sure that the knowledge what we have from both the countries, we should use it, that we can bring some fruits out of it. That's very important.
Yeah, so my next question is regarding the youngsters who are arriving here. So how it is helpful, like this Indo-Polish Chamber
You
of
know,
Commerce. And
I can proudly say Indians are very entrepreneur. The entrepreneurship is at a very high level, and same is also in Poland. And I'm sure the youngsters who are coming, they will find their way. But only thing is they have to keep their mind open. They should be open for the new ideas. They should talk about the ideas. Only out of that something, you can say solid will come out. And what I would have the advice for the youngsters or the our Indian fellows who are coming into Poland, I mean, we should remember one very basic thing, what we have been taught back home by our parents also. One should be responsible for all their activities, how they conduct themselves, first to their own self, to their fellow person, whether it can be Indian or Polish, and be responsible toward India and towards your place of choice, in this case, Poland also. So if we keep those ethics in us and we conduct ourselves, I'm sure, each one of us can do something good with the relationship, not only about the trade, but the social relationship, the cultural relationship can also grow between the two countries.
from last 1 year, the whole world is fighting the deadly pandemic coronavirus. Certainly, it has slowed down the growth, but we all are optimistic that things will come down to normal sooner or later. How do you see the coming next decade? What is your view? Decade. Can you throw some light on it?
Well, times are challenging, and I can only say that in today's world, and that's also how I operate in my businesses also, that thinking about a long term is a difficult task today. I think we should keep our foresight short, 2, 3 years, 4 years maximum. What we are seeing today, I think this is also the result of all of us that we didn't take care of the things when the times were good. I'm afraid that pandemic, of course, will get over. We'll get over it for sure by the end of this year with the vaccines, around the world and everything. And people are, taking care of the hygiene. That also help. But I think if one will end, something else will come out. So I only believe and trust that people who are working on this, having the technology in hand, they can really take the information out of the situation what we are having at hand and be prepared for the next one. But definitely, the cycle always says that it's a repetition. If you talk about the recession, it's always a repetition after 10 years. We had a recession in 2008, 9, and 10. So next 10 years, we don't have the recession straight, but we have the recession out of pandemic. So I think we'll have to be careful. This will stay with us. We will have to learn to live with it. We have to change a little bit our lifestyles also sometimes. We have to take care of the things what we were forgetting earlier in general. But I don't think so that life will be anything, brighter. There will be challenges in front of us, whether it's 5 years or 10 years. But the only thing what I can say that we have learned a lot, all of us, from this pandemic. And I think we are more agile than we used to be earlier. And this is one of the very most important factors what we should take out of it and learn how we can take care of the things in the future.
Take care of the nature first and
Well,
foremost.
climate change and nature on the top of the things. That's why we have.
Yeah.
So I think, again, it's a collective thing. I mean, there are a lot of things related to it. How we use the cars, how we do the things.
Correct.
Heating and everything. But I think that's a level where the young people can make a difference for sure. We can see the difference which has been made right now by the young girl from Sweden. So Greta. So I
Yeah.
think young people have the power to make the things better.
In the able leadership of Modi ji, India is moving forward. The whole world is looking towards India. How do you find the relationship between India and Poland, and how do you think Poland fits into that whole spectrum?
But like I said, Poland is looking very closely at India, and right now, with the situation what we have in the geopolitics, I mean, Europe and Poland, of course, wants to work closely with India, and pandemic has also proven, it was known earlier also, that India is, I would say, the base for the production of the vaccines and the other related items. So I think pharma industry is one where definitely there'll be a lot of cooperation, not only with Poland, but at the European level with India. India has also adapted very fast in making the equipment and the other stuff related for the medical requirements, which was only done earlier by China. So I think this is the second thing also which we can see. So in general, I think whole world has seen how India has handled the situation with the pandemic. Because I still remember when it started, people were saying that India will be 50% of it after the pandemic, which is not. I mean, we had our tough moments. Each country had, but I think we have come out of it strong. And this is a good example of what we have seen under the leadership of Modi ji. And this is also has given a lot of credit to India in the foreign countries, not only Poland. So I see as a bright future if it comes to the trade and the cooperation between the world and India.
We are even exporting vaccination to many countries.
Yes, I mean that's why I say it's a home of production. So now we can see that the ability what we have and how fast we can do it. Take the example Pfizer, their factory in Belgium, they had to stop, make some renovations to make more vaccines. So this shows also, and we in India we can handle that number very easily. So the companies are also seeing the positives. So I'm sure pharma will be one sector where India will be, I would say, the leader.
Yeah. Before it was IT sector, we were already
But
leader.
it's a cycle of life, so it changes. But I think it's a good thing for India, what we have done, and it's a moment I think we should all utilize, especially from the Indian side, also our business people who are in the production and everything. That this is a time that this is the momentum. They should work on it.
Modi has launched Make in India scheme also.
Yes, and it's a good thing also that the people have also followed making Atmanirbhar. So I think that's also the one thing which is there. But I think we should also be open to the world, which we are. But I think the businesses should remember that they should actually work on the situation what we're having right now, which is the positive one, and leverage out in it.
No one can deny the fact that Mr. Singh is very compassionate person. Anyone who is coming from help, you are always ready for it. So what ignites the feeling in you of compassion and giving back to a society?
I think it is something what you inherit from your family, from the values. And I know when the person in the foreign land is alone and they are not having their family close to them, they are in trouble. If somebody is giving the helping hand, I think it's very important. And we should always, it's not a question of me, but I think all of us should remember, and what I said in the very beginning also, if we feel responsible towards other, I think that can really make the world better for all of us.
Make a difference, yeah. I've heard a lot about you. Yeah. It is always said that you can take a person out of India, but you cannot take India out of a person. How true it is in your case?
Well, I can say it is in very much true in me. I will just start with something which you can really see physically. Being here for last 3 decades, I have not changed my passport. I'm still keeping my Indian passport.
Okay.
Because I always believe, with all due respect to all my friends, Indians who are having the Polish passport, it's not bad. But what I believe, your identity is what you are. Even today, if I change the paper, I will not change being the Indian. So why you can't be on your own and still do good for the country which you have chosen as your home and your motherland also. I think, and things what you can do if you can give back to your society, not only helping the people, but also building the platforms where we can exchange, our culture. We can educate people in the country where we're living about the culture from where we come. So I think that also makes it easier for the future, I would say, the immigrants, our fellow Indians who are coming here, because they have that platform, plus the Polish people also who are here, they know India well. So I think these are the basic things what each one of us can do. And I think we should always do the thing where we should remember what it can bring for the future generation. If we go with that idea and conduct ourselves, I'm sure not only with Poland, but wherever we are staying in the world, the relationship and the communication between the two countries will be very good.
Yeah, and India has a very rich past and rich culture values.
Yes, and we should expose that to the Polish community to make them understand. I think they know it already because, even when I came here, I never knew how deep was the cooperation between Poland and India way back in the Second World War. So these are the things, which build the relationship for the future.
Yeah, people here admire a lot Indian culture.
Yes, and this is not work of one person of me, but this is the work of the collective Indians. Everything what we do here
for many years.
Yes, and so this is something what we should remember. Keep doing it.
Yeah. What is the message you want to give to the thriving community of India living here?
Well, I mean, I always said whenever I met the younger people coming to Poland to study or people who are coming here for business and everything, conduct yourself in a responsible way. Be responsible towards others, towards your own self, and how you conduct your business or even your social life also. I think these are the basics which I say, which is very important. It's very basic, but it's also very deep. Because if you think about it, what we do and being responsible for the others also, I think that's the key. And that I would leave the message for everyone that, even if you're in the foreign land also, never forget from where you come, but do something meaningful where you can also make a mark of your own in the country which you have chosen as your homeland.
Thank you, Mr. Singh, for giving us your precious time. It was a very insightful interview. It was our pleasure to know a lot about you. I think the Poland people will like it very much. Thanks a lot again. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Thank you very much, Gitanjali.